going into fantasy football drafts, here's a few rookies I'd want to target this season. And guys, hopefully you can land on your roster. First, guys, is Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons. So Bijan Robinson, he's already projected as a first-round pick in fantasy football. I know he's on the Atlanta Falcons team last season. I had one of the best run attacks in the league. Tyrell Algier, even in his rookie year last year, he's a talented back, no doubt about it. But I don't think he's as talented as Bijan Robinson, had 1,000 yards. And right now in fantasy leagues, he's going anywhere from the 5 to the 8 range. And you've been seeing Bijan go in leagues. So right now I got him ranked as my third running back going into the year behind CMC and Austin Eckler. But I think Bijan Robinson, he could be a 1,500 total yard guy this season, anywhere from 5 to 10 touchdowns if he gets the same volume like those other backs did last season in this Atlanta system. And just the breakaway speed and what he could do in all assets of the game, catching the football out of the backfield as well. So right now, if you're in that mid-first round, later first round pick, I think Bijan Robinson, you can't go wrong with this season. And I got him as a rookie to target. Next rookie's another running back, Jahmyr Gibbs of the Detroit Lions. So right now his only competition over there is David Montgomery. But this Lion team obviously drafted him number 12 overall in the NFL draft. And he's not going to be a player sitting on the bench. And he's another running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, where I believe he could get 50 to 60 catches this year in the backfield. I believe he could be a top 10 running back when it's all said and done this season with his burst, his breakaway speed. And he could do a little bit of everything as well in this Lion team. They didn't put a first-round pick that high in the draft, like I said, and let guys like Jamal Williams walk and trade DeAndre Swift if they don't believe in Gibbs could be a big-time factor in this offense. So right now, he's going third or fourth round in most fantasy drafts. And going into the year, if you got to go with him as your number one running back, say if you draft 2 wide receivers to start, if you go Kelsey maybe or wide receiver and then Gibbs, I still think I would feel comfortable with that. This kid's got major upside. And like I said, he could take the reins early backfield over there for Detroit. And he's definitely a rookie to target this year. The next rookie is Jordan Addison of the Minnesota Vikings. So the Vikings, we know they developed receivers good over the last few years. We've seen it, Stephon Diggs. We've seen it Adam Thielen. We've seen it Justin Jefferson, obviously best receiver in the league now. And now the rookie Jordan Addison to come to an offense here with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Madison. That's a solid offense, no doubt about it. And he's going to get a lot of single coverage this season. And he's a wide receiver going 10th, 11th round usually is Addison. So it wouldn't be surprising to me this year if he turns up into a number 2 wide receiver or a solid flex option for fantasy owners. So right now, he's a good target as a bench piece to start the season, see what he could do in the 8th and 9th round. Obviously, in deeper leagues, you might have to start him 3 receiver leagues or 2-3 flex leagues, whatever you're in. But I think Addison's a guy that at least you want to get in a couple fantasy leagues because, like I said, he's going to have single coverage. He plays in a dynamic offense, a lot of dome games as well, with all his home games being indoors. So right now, I like Addison as a target this year. Next rookie is Quentin Johnson, another wide receiver of the Los Angeles Chargers. So this Charger team, their offense was loaded, no doubt about it. But this offseason, they drafted Johnson in the first round, and they went out and got Kellen Moore now as their offensive coordinator, where he likes to push that ball down the field and take more chances, and that's what you're going to do with Justin Herbert. So now to have a Johnson, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Gerald Everett, Austin Eckler, a million options it seems like on that offense here for Justin Herbert. And this Charger team, they want to get over the hump. They gave Herbert the big contract, and I think this kid Quentin Johnson, with his size and speed, can make some big plays here for this Los Angeles Charger team. And right now, he's going pretty late in fantasy drafts. I've been seeing him go in usually 12th, 13th round range as a back-end bench guy for fantasy owners. So right now, I would definitely take a flyer on him. He's got big playability, and he was a first-round pick for a reason in the NFL draft. The next rookie's Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis Colts. So quickly, Richardson's been named the starting quarterback over Gardner Minshew over there for this Indianapolis Colts team. Got major upside as well is Richardson. Is similar to a Justin Fields, I believe. I don't think he's going to put up the Fields type of numbers in his rookie year this year, Richardson, like Fields did last season in his second year. But he's got legs, and I wouldn't be surprised if he rushes from anywhere from 700 to 900 yard range. And he's got some decent weapons there. Michael Pittman, we know a few years ago, was a good receiver, but last season he didn't do much with Matt Ryan. Alec Pierce, he showed some flashes last year. But I think if Jonathan Taylor is healthy and ready to go week 1 as well, that's just going to help Richardson even more, in my opinion. But right now, I got him at the 11th quarterback ranked overall as Richardson in my rankings because of the running ability. And he's honestly a player you could get very late in fantasy drafts, anywhere from the 11th to the last round, 15th, 16th round. How many rounds you play in your leagues here? You could get Richardson. I don't know if I'd be comfortable going into week 1 with him as my starter, but definitely in deepest of leagues or 2 quarterback leagues, I could live with it. But right now, he's definitely a quarterback. I would target rookies Jackson Smith, Nabaja of the Seattle Seahawks. So right now, he's going about 9th, 10th round range is Nabaja. And we know the Seahawk offense, they're loaded as well. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. But nowadays, a lot of teams, they want that solid third wide receiver. And obviously, he was selected in the first round as well, 20th pick overall. So he's going to see the field. They're going to have a lot of 3 receiver sets, a lot of slot sets. Is this Seattle Seahawks team? And I want to spread teams out. And I think Smith and Jabba could be a big part of this offense over there in Seattle, especially learning from a guy like Tyler Lockett, who's a veteran in this league. And no matter what, it seems like pretty much every year he finds a way to receive for 1,000 yards. And obviously DK Metcalf, who's a freak wide receiver and can make pretty much any play here. So right now I like his ADP, and I like him as a guy at the back end of your bench who could obviously flourish and be an option in the middle of the season as a number 2 wide receiver possibly, or a flex at worst case. So he's definitely a rookie I would target this season. Next rookie is Rashee Rice of the Kansas City Chiefs. So this Chief team, their receivers are going down like flies. Kadarius Toney, he had surgery on the knee. He should be ready for week 1, but we'll see with him. He's a walking injury so far early in his NFL career. Justin Ross, he's been hurt now in practice. And Rashee Rice, he was 55th overall in the NFL draft. So obviously, this Kansas City Chief team saw something in him, and he's a big 6'1", 204-pound wide receiver. And I think Patrick Mahomes, that's what he needs. One more big guy on the outside to really totally dominate, even though obviously he dominates as it is with 2 Super Bowl rings already. But this kid, I think, has major upside. Valdez-Scantling, I don't think is really a threat. He's just a veteran at this point. That's a deep threat. Kadarius Toney, like I said, you really can't trust. He's been very injury-prone the first 3 years of his NFL career. Justin Ross, he's hurt as well now. Sky Moore I like, but I think Rashee Rice at worst is going to be the number 3 receiver on this team. But we know how the Chiefs like to spread it out the field, obviously, and get everyone involved with Patrick Mahomes. So right now, a guy pretty much going undrafted in most fantasy leagues, or possibly the last round or 2. He definitely could be a big-time receiver in the next couple seasons to play with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. And we saw with Juju Smith-Schuster last season. He resurrected his career with Kansas City, and now he went to New England and got a contract, which is good for him, obviously. So right now, opportunity is there for Rice. He's a guy, like I said, I had this in my sleeper at the receiver position, and also definitely a rookie to target, because if you could play with Patrick Mahomes and get a decent amount of snaps in that offense and make some plays, it could pay dividends, obviously, for fantasy football. The next rookie's Zach Charbonnet, Seattle Seahawks. So Charbonnet right now, he's going about 10th, 11th round in most fantasy leagues. Here I've been seeing him go. So right now, Kenneth Walker, we know, is the starting running back. But another guy drafted pretty early in the NFL draft in the 2nd round here was Charbonnet. So Kenneth Walker drafted last season by Seattle. Rashard Penny, that would walk in free agency. But it wouldn't be surprising to me if this is a 50-50 split in the backfield early and often right here. I think the first couple weeks, Walker's going to be the lead man, even though he's banged up right now with a groin injury. But Charbonnet, like I said, you're not going to draft this kid in the 2nd round for him to sit around and not do much. Obviously, if they had a stud running back, was this team who's been in the league for seasons, like for an example, a Nick Chubb or Derrick Henry, then he's going to be on the bench. But right now, he's going to see the field, in my opinion. He could catch the ball out of the backfield. We saw it in the first preseason game, and he can make guys miss. So right now, Charbonnet has an outside shot of possibly being the starter from the early going here over there in Seattle. But right now, was an ADP guy in the 8th and 9th round. I think it's a solid get for a bench running back, or possibly a flex at worst case in PPR leagues. But he's definitely a rookie I would want to target this year. Look to target Dalton Kincaid of the Buffalo Bills. So Dalton Kincaid, he was the top tight end prospect in the NFL draft, and the Buffalo Bills, they wanted to add more to this offense, and they went out there and did it with the 25th pick in the draft, getting Kincaid. I know they got Dawson Knox, but this kid could be a big-time tight end. He could block. He could be a red zone threat. And right now, he's going towards the latter part of fantasy drafts as well, 13th to the 15th round range his ADP has been. So now to be in an offense with one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen, obviously, to be a kid who can spread the field and make the plays and throw the blocks. And defenses, they're going to have to pay attention, obviously, to Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis, even though he had a bad year last year, could stretch the field and be a deep ball threat. And also James Cook out of the backfield, I think, is a threat as well. And always a spy on Josh Allen as well, because we know he can run the football. So right now, things are looking up for Kincaid. And like I said, if you want to punt on tight end a little bit and wait to the 12th, 13th round range, Kincaid should be there in most fantasy leagues. And I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks out this season in his rookie year. But he's definitely a rookie I would target. The final rookie I look to target entering fantasy drafts here is Jalin Hyatt of the New York Giants. Jalin Hyatt, a lot of good reports coming out of training camp with the speed. That he's one of the fastest players already in the NFL is the rookie Hyatt. Drafted in the 3rd round where the Giants traded up to get him right there. So right now Hyatt scored a touchdown in the preseason game for this New York Giant team on 5 targets, and he caught 4 for 35 yards and a TD. And right now, with all this speed and game-breaking type ability, I think he's going to be in 3 receiver sets for this New York Giant team. I know wide receiver, they added some guys in the offseason, but they still don't really have a true starting lineup here, I believe, this Giant team. I know they got Isaiah Hodgins. He had a breakout out of nowhere type of year last season. They signed Paris Campbell in the offseason. You got Cole Beasley, who's obviously a slot guy. You got Robinson. We'll see if he's going to come back off the ACL, who they drafted last season as well. And now you got Jalin Hyatt. So like I said, this Giant team is a lot of wide receivers. And we'll see who's going to crack this starting lineup for New York. But with this speed and obviously a good preseason game and a lot of hype out of camp, he's definitely getting a lot of snaps, I believe, as the season goes on, is Hyatt. So right now, he's a late-round flyer and a guy in more keeper leagues and dynasty leagues to target more than anything, where he could break out mid-season. Hyatt is a rookie I would look to target. That's a few rookies I look to target and draft here entering the 2023 fantasy football season.